Okay, let's continue now with the AM alignment of this set. Here's what I've determined. The FM, IF adjustments are painted in place. They're on the bottom. The AM adjustments are up on the top. They're not painted in place, and I can adjust them, and they seem like they require adjustment badly. That's what it looks like. There is one adjustment that appears to be not painted, which does not affect the AM, and I think that's the FM discriminator adjustment. I'm not sure of that, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on AM, but it has an effect on FM. So now I know which three adjustments, these ones, this one, this one, and this one, to make. What I don't know yet is the order, but I should do them in. And you know, you can work, if a radio's working, if it's receiving something, then you can pretty much go ahead and adjust these in any order you like. You're going to eventually get there. If the radio's so far out of alignment, then you really got to do them one at a time, because things are so far out of alignment, nothing is getting through. So you gotta get things a little bit lined up to get some amount of signal through, and then you can carry on. So now, I mean, this radio is not dead. It does allow some signal through. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the frequency counter to 4.55. Let's do that, which is the IF frequency. Oops, wrong side. 455. Interesting, that's one number off 456. If they picked 456, they would have been. No, that's stupid. Yeah, never mind. Ignore me. I'm babbling because I'm so disturbed by the short circuit earlier that I'm not thinking straight, which is not good. My attention has been so badly disturbed here, as is usually the case. Frankly, I think I'm an adult ADHD person. Okay. Now, signal generator is connected to the antenna. Let's try to figure out a better place to connect it. Now, the antenna input is down at this end of the radio, down at the bottom end. Audio section's up at this end. It would make sense for the signal to just pass through the radio this way. It would make a lot of sense. And that would make this coil here. Let me turn the radio a little bit here. So that would make this one here the first coil. And if that's the first coil, then I should be able to feed the IF in there somewhere. Let's get a capacitor into the circuit here. And we're at the IF frequency, 455. I'm thinking it's going to go in somewhere right around here. So I think that's a pretty good spot. I'm humming because the transformer I figured was FM only. Of course, what they do is they pass the IF, they pass the FM IF through the AF through the AM coils, and the other way around. They pass the AM IF frequency through the FM coils. So maybe I shouldn't be too surprised. Let's go right there. Turn down the input. Turn up the volume. Okay, let's go peeking. Let's peek this signal. See what happens here. Yikes, nothing at all. Okay, let's try this a different way now. I'm gonna have to do this a different way. Well, no, wait, hold it, stop. Let's try the 12BE6 again. Let's see if we can't inject the signal into the 12BE6. Let's look at the circuit diagram here quickly. And the 12BE6. Okay, 12BE6. That would be, we could stick this on the plate of the 12BE6 or on one of the grids, which is probably a better choice. 12BE6. BE6. Plate is 5. And then we could try pin 5, pin 6, pin 1. Pin 5, 6, and 1. Yeah, that sounds familiar. 5, 6, and 1. So if we go for pin 1, there's pin 1. There we are. Let's give a little more signal here. That's a little better. Very good. Let's cut back the signal. Fantastic. Oh, we're ready now. We're finally ready. Let's try this coil. Okay, that's at peak. Next coil, didn't make much difference. Oh, it's making no difference in the radio. I hate this. Next one. I've either mucked up the FM now because I'm totally mistaken about everything I'm concluding, or I'm lost here. Really, really lost. Man, let's go back to putting I could try the other grid. Let's go back to putting a signal right into the radio itself. A regular radio signal. I'm jamming that into the front end of the radio now. Ah, it's a heartbreaker. Heartbreaker, I'm seeing no difference from these changes I'm making. Ah, man. You know, the lesson here is don't twiddle stuff without instructions. Ah, don't get it. Okay. Let's switch over to the FM side here. Now I have a signal generator running in the office and in the shop. There it is. Right there. And you can see it's my signal generator because if I affect the generator, signal goes out. And it can't be moving at all while I do these. And it's as if these coils make no difference to anything. Ooh, there's one. That's a complete disaster, the whole thing. In the sense that I'm not getting anywhere. I don't think I'm doing any harm here, but I'm not getting anywhere on this radio.
I wandered around and finally found somebody who could make me be true.
Make me get a copyright hit on my YouTube video. Yeah. Well, you know, the AM side is not really working well at all. Let's go back to the AM side and see what we can figure out here. Okay, we're just carrying on with an attempt at an AM alignment. This is really not going well at all. So let's here's the AM radio. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my finger on the antenna coil here. Let's see if I can. It's interesting. Things kind of went a little quiet there, but Still can't quite see what I'm up to here. Okay, so how come everything went nice and quiet now? There it is. So I'm just putting my finger on the coil. So no matter where I tune this radio, I hear junk. Oh, look at that.
Seeing it from both the restaurant and food.
You know, I've seen this on so many radios now that I affect the antenna coil, and the operation of the radio changes dramatically. Often comes in from nowhere. And I've started thinking that these ferrite cores change over time. I think there's some discussion on the internet around this. Another possibility is this coil is shifted just a little bit on this shaft. And so we'll move it around and see what we can figure out from that.
Truck. Here's one of the items that they report in the Star today, Zane, and you tell me if this sounds not that it's the right thing, that it's correct. Ryan, under what the city is proposing to do, a 1,067.
Let's try the trimmer on the capacitor here. So, okay. This is interesting. I have seen this so many times now.
And he's a great these guys will he loves food trucks. Food trucks are good for business. They attract people. They attract people.
Got me as to what to do. In my imagination, in my oh too powerful imagination here, what I think is happening is the antenna is no longer resonant. The antenna coil and the bar are no longer resonant in the frequency range that we're concerned with this radio. And when I place my finger up against it like this, I change the circuit inductance, I guess. I change the capacitance a bit. I'm doing something anyway. And the result is the antenna Q goes way up, or its Q, its sweet spot, moves into the range of the radio that the signals we're trying to receive, the AM signals we're trying to receive. Once the Q is picked up, then the radio responds to the strong radio signal being received at the front end, and the AVC takes over, cuts back the gain on the radio, and the noise goes away. It sounds like the noise is coming, but in fact the signal-to-noise ratio is improving dramatically. And one of the reasons you can't hear the noise is because the AVC is knocking back the signal gain in the radio, giving you the impression that when you bring your finger up, the noise is going away. But really what's happening is the signal is getting much, much stronger. So what do you do about something like that? It's more than just turning the antenna tuning adjustment or the trimmer on the tuning capacitor, rather. Wow, I tell you, what is supposed to be so simple and straightforward is turned into a nightmare on this radio. It's a nightmare. Hey, who got me into this anyway? I thought I was all happy with this radio a while ago. Who wasn't? But I'm going to have to leave it here at this point. And I have another whole project in mind to work on while we ponder this. And this is going to take hours to get uploaded anyway, because it's such a slow process. So later tonight, you'll see all this stuff. You'll be looking at this stuff. In the meantime, I'm going to do something else.